Up next, the hammer ready to fall on the house that Convoy built. Controversy on the last day before council elections. A Nowra show back with a bang.
Across the Illawarra, South Coast and Southern Highlands, this is Win News.
Tonight, final checks ahead of a massive I-98 FM Illawarra Convoy weekend. Last-minute pitches ahead of the local government elections. And the Illawarra's wish list for the new Cities Minister. Good evening, I'm Bruce Roberts and welcome to Win News this Friday. Also tonight, big money to be spent addressing coastal erosion along the south coast. It's just 2 more sleeps until trucks and bikes roar down Mount Ousley for the I-98 FM Illawarra Convoy. More than $1 million has been raised through the lead bike and truck auctions, but the fundraising goes on with a house that Convoy built to go under the hammer tomorrow, before the main event Sunday.
The floors are being shined and the benches polished as the final touches are made at the house that Convoy built at Vista Park in Wongawilli. Zoe Martin, Win News.
On the eve of the twice-delayed council elections, candidates have made their last pitch to voters. But in an unprecedented campaign, even the local government minister concedes there's still confusion among voters.
Traditional tactics at the polling booth won't work and aren't even allowed this year. SAMARA GARDNER, Win News.
The announcement of the new Minister for Cities has met a positive response from local business leaders. They've identified a list of changes they want prioritised once the role's filled.
6 cities, 1 goal, to work and operate as one network. The Minister for Cities has a big task at hand, connecting the dots between north and south.
The Minister for Cities is one of 2 new roles being introduced to Cabinet, with the position to be filled by the end of the year. Zoe Martin, Win News.
State Labor leader Chris Minns has doubled down on member for Gilmore Fiona Phillips' calls to fast-track the planning of a Nowra bypass to future-proof the town's traffic congestion.
We take her concerns very seriously. She's in touch with her community. If she fronts up and tells us this is a big issue, it's a big issue.
But he wouldn't commit extra cash for upgrades of the Princes Highway south of Nowra to the Victorian border. Australians whose loved ones have been missing for more than 3 months are urged to register with a cutting-edge scheme. The DNA program for unidentified and missing persons will work to solve cold cases and bring families closure.
A state-of-the-art lab delving into DNA analysis to resolve some of Australia's most enduring missing persons cases. Sophie Lester, Win News.
More than $1 million will be spent across Illawarra and South Coast beaches, managing erosion and improving coastal environments. The state government money split between Shoalhaven, Shellharbour and Wollongong councils.
They have to address problems before they get worse. So some of these minor erosion problems, unless you address them with enhancement or vegetation, then they're going to become worse.
The funds will be used for 13 projects across the 3 local government areas and includes beach scraping at Kalala Bay and wetland rehabilitation at Lake Illawarra. And when we return with more Win News this Friday night, a new date for the Nowra show, plus a look at the wearable technology produced in the Illawarra, making the world of difference for people living with disability. Close to $250,000 at-risk audio-visual items from a military peacekeeping collection to a former PM's personal recordings will be digitised. A cash splash of almost $42 million will allow the National Film and Sound Archive to do the work.
There was just an interview with you. Oh, there you go.
Preserving national history for generations to come, including the Treasurer's kids.
Now, I hope that when they grow up, they know the household names of Dame Joan Sutherland, Sir Charles Kingsford Smith, Robert Menzies and Donald Bradman.
We're going to be running double shifts on the equipment to make sure that we move through the program really quickly over the next 4 years. So part of the funding is for people, the bulk is for capital setup.
Another $7 million will be spent maintaining the National Library's Trove site, providing digital access to more than 6 billion items. A Wollongong-based rehab clinic is leading the country remapping neural pathways by combining neuroscience with the latest wearable technology. It's designed to improve the lives of those living with health conditions as well as contribute to a cure for paralysis.
In 2010, Daniel Hillier had a life-changing accident, falling 4.5 metres when... For more information, visit the Win News Illawarra Facebook page. Olivia Blunden, Win News.
The Nara show is preparing to make its comeback after being cancelled 2 years in a row because of COVID. It will be a triumphant return to the arena for the show community, with agriculture at the heart of the event.
With that agriculture, we've got all of our normal sections, the dairy cattle, the beef cattle, all the horse events, the show jumping, the hacking. We've even got polo cross demonstration.
It is time for some Friday Night Sport with Melissa Russell. Nathan McAndrew, Mel, turning his attention to the Big Bash.
Yeah, the Oak Flats cricketer Bruce is hoping to transfer his strong red ball and one-day form to the shorter format. Plus, the Hawks head off to Adelaide for Sunday's NBL season opener.
This report, brought to you by Tramps the Store. Proudly part of the Illawarra for 49 years.
The Illawarra Hawks Adelaide connection is out to sink the 36ers in Sunday's NBL season opener. The City of Churches is home for Isaac White, while Harry Froling will make his Hawks debut against the club he began his career with.
He was a former fan fave in Adelaide.
Rolling straight back to his...
Corey Hammond, Win News.
The field for the Dapto Dogs' biggest race is set in stone following last night's heats of the megastar. Wilton-based trainer Jordan Tweddle, who originally hails from Corrimal, will fly the local flag in the final with Light and Lily.
He made the Richmond Derby final and all that stuff and then got injured, so this is his comeback trail and he's nearly 3, so I think the best is yet to come, hopefully.
Light and Lily and Takakardik might have been impressive in their heat wins, but the quickest time of the night belonged to Zipping Kyrgios, who's been installed an odds-on favourite for next Thursday's $75,000 final. It will start from box 6 inside Light and Lily in 7, with Takakardik drawing the squeeze. A big day of thoroughbred racing at the Shoalhaven City Turf Club on Sunday with the running of the Nara Cup. A field of 10 will contest the $65,000 feature. Southern Highlands trainer Jean Dubois has one of the race fancies in Prince of Aragon, while father-son training combo Rob and Luke Price will travel from Kembla to their home region. Now, Bruce, that wraps up our week in sport.
Lovely, Mel. Thank you very much for wrapping it up. We've got the weather details for the weekend after the break. Partly cloudy for Convoy, but there'll still be plenty of colour rolling down the hill. We'll see you in a moment.
This program brought to you by Southern Classic Cars Group Wollongong and Albion Park. In business for over 28 years.
Hello again. It was a warm one waking up across the Illawarra this morning, but severe thunderstorms developed during the afternoon, prompting a warning for the region. Wollongong actually reached its highest temperature at 7:30 this morning before a cool southerly change. We saw the mercury overnight down to 19 degrees, eventually settling on 23, and that was shared by Bulli and also Kiama. Bowral saw a top of 24 degrees today, now at 25. Further south, thunderstorms rolled right across the region at lunchtime. Narooma winds peaked up to 54 kilometres an hour, which kept the temperature feeling pretty cool, although you can see 20 degrees recorded there. Eden, a top of 24. On the charts, a high ridge extends across the coast, while a broad trough moves over central parts of the state. Looking ahead, a stronger trough is expected to move into the state next week, bringing potentially more unsettled weather. The news we wanted to hear. On the waters tomorrow, it could be showery with some strong wind warnings in place for the Eden coast. To the forecast on the land, though, for the Illawarra and Southern Highlands, overcast with showers and the chance of storms about. Bulli bound for a top of 20 degrees, Bowral seeing a top of 19. Narra down to 15 tonight, 19 degrees tomorrow, and further south, Ulladulla 18, and very similar conditions for the south coast as well. Narooma seeing a top of 20 degrees, slightly warmer for Eden. Let's take a peek now at Wollongong. A shower or two possible tomorrow, 17 degrees tonight, 20 degrees tomorrow. And as we take a peek at the days ahead, there is a medium chance of showers for Convoy on Sunday, but I promise you there'll still be plenty of colour on show, and you can also join the Convoy voice show online. If you head onto Facebook, I'll be there on the mountain with live updates. We should see Wollongong heading for a top of 19 degrees on Sunday. Nowra the same, 19 degrees, also 19 for Bega. Then Monday, more showers are possible. Temperatures up a little, and then Tuesday easing slightly, but we could still see a storm as the mercury warms. And thank you very much for your company tonight and this week, this Friday, December 3. That's how we saw your news. Have a great weekend.
This has been a Win News presentation. Win News, Regional Australia's #1 news source.